Before we dive into the chilling and mysterious world of ancient child sacrifices, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. If you enjoy this content, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to hear what you think about these ancient rituals and their terrifying impact on history. Let's explore the dark secrets together. In this video, we will dive deep into one of the most horrific and dark practices of ancient times, child sacrifices. It is a topic shrouded in mystery, fear, and incomprehensible cruelty. The idea that innocent children were once sacrificed, often by being made to cry out in pain, before their lives were violently taken, chills even the most hardened souls. In the ancient world, where gods demanded devotion through brutal rituals, the offering of children was seen as the ultimate sacrifice. Many believed that the cries of a child in anguish would capture the attention of powerful deities, ensuring favor, protection, or a bountiful harvest. As grotesque as it sounds today, such rituals were commonplace in some of the most influential ancient civilizations. And the more tragic the sacrifice, the more powerful it was believed to be. One of the most famous examples of child sacrifice comes from Carthage, a civilization that thrived in what is now modern-day Tunisia. According to ancient historians, the Carthaginians worshipped a god named Baal-Hamon, to whom they would offer children as burnt offering. The screams of children were thought to be music to the ears of this deity, ensuring that his wrath would be appeased and his blessings would rain upon the land. In some instances, the children were placed in the arms of bronze statues, which had been heated until they glowed red hot. These poor souls would scream in agony as their bodies were consumed by the flames, their parents often watching in belief that this horror was for the greater good. But Carthage was not the only ancient civilization guilty of such gruesome acts. In Mesoamerica, the ancient Aztecs believed that the blood of children was essential to nourishing their gods. They held ceremonies during droughts where young children would be sacrificed to Tlaloc, the god of rain and fertility. The Aztecs believed that the tears of the children would call down rain from the skies, thus ending the suffering of their people. In fact, the more the children cried, the better, as their pain was directly linked to the abundance of rain that would follow. To ensure the children were distressed, they would often be tortured before being sacrificed, guaranteeing the cries that were so vital to the ritual's success. In this video, we will also explore the chilling accounts of the Inca civilization, who sacrificed children as part of their Capacocha ritual. This ritual was meant to honor the gods, especially after major events such as the death of an emperor. Young children, often chosen for their purity and beauty, were taken to the top of sacred mountains, where they were left to freeze to death or were killed through less merciful means. These children were drugged with coca leaves and alcohol to make them more docile. But their slow and painful deaths in the cold and isolation were seen as a gift to the gods. The bodies of these children have been found in remarkably preserved states, their frozen faces forever capturing the terror they must have felt in their final moments. What makes these sacrifices even more horrific is the reasoning behind them. To the ancient peoples, children were seen as the purest and most valuable of offerings. Their innocence, inexperience with the world, and the sheer tragedy of their deaths were believed to be the greatest possible gifts to the gods. The more heartbreaking the sacrifice, the more likely the gods would be pleased. This belief system allowed for the continuation of practices that today would be considered unspeakable crimes. Yet to the people of these ancient times, these were holy acts, done with the best of intentions in the hope that the gods would bring favor upon their people. In this video, we cannot help but be haunted by the thought of what these children went through. The terror they must have felt, the betrayal by their own parents and communities, and the agony they endured before death. Some were too young to even understand what was happening, their innocent cries echoing in the chambers of temples or in the open air, where the gods were said to dwell. Adding to this darkness, there were legends of priests who would deliberately amplify the suffering of the children to ensure the gods would hear them. It is said that in some cultures, the more the child suffered, the greater the chance of divine intervention. Rituals were designed to prolong the agony, from starvation to exposure to the elements. Some stories even tell of children being buried alive, their tiny hands clawing at the dirt as their lives slowly ebbed away. The earth was believed to swallow their souls, delivering them directly to the gods. What we can never forget is that these were not just stories or myths. They were real events that occurred in the name of religion and belief. The remains of these children, discovered in archaeological sites around the world, tell the undeniable truth of a past where the most innocent were offered up for reasons we can barely comprehend. As we uncover these grim practices in this video, it becomes clear that ancient peoples were driven by a desperate need to control their unpredictable world. Whether it was famine, drought, disease, or warfare, the need to appease unseen forces led them down a path of unimaginable cruelty. In their minds, the sacrifice of a few was necessary to save the many. Yet the horror of these acts lingers. Can you imagine the helplessness of a child taken from their family, told they were destined to meet the gods, only to face a terrifying death? The people who carried out these sacrifices were not evil. They were merely trying to survive in a world that often felt like it was spiraling out of control. But the consequences of their beliefs left scars not only on their victims, but on the legacy of humanity itself. In this video, we will also touch on the echoes of these ancient practices in modern stories and urban legends. The idea of child sacrifice has not entirely disappeared from the human psyche. Whether in whispered tales of the occult or conspiracy theories about secret societies, the concept of offering children to dark forces continues to haunt us. The fear and revulsion we feel towards these acts today are a testament to how far we have come, yet also a reminder of how fragile our morality can be when faced with overwhelming fear and desperation.